the nether. It's my fault. I've been talking the camera to death. Anyway, mate, they let me back. They let me back. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. It's just about. I'm in my element. I'm really excited. I'm so pleased to be back here. I love being here. And they let me loose with some of my stuff. So I thought I want to do some journaling. And I really want to do pages that I can journal later. So if I want to write everything, I don't have to do the backgrounds first. So it's a case of doing a mass sort of background session. But before I do that, please, 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 just go and check out Everyday Journaling, because the amount of money you can save, right? Also, wait till you read this. You get 15% off my stuff and the jelly roll. And then I think you get a free gift of washi tape. Now this washi tape, I've been playing with it and it's super, super beautiful. And I have been messing about with it. I've been sort of putting it in my book, and I've been playing with it on sheets and stuff because I really wanted to get the feel. I've been stamping on it, and it is really lovely. You've got a semi-matte feel to it, so it's not too shiny. I can stamp on that, which I'm really happy about. But I also love washi in the fact that it can divide up my sketchbook, it can divide up my journal, but it can also cover up mistakes, because I make a few of them. But it's just nice because it lends something else to a page. So I want to just share with you what I've got here, because it's exciting. Right, so I've got my stamps, which these are the ones I'm using today, which I love. And these are the Just Blue Botanicals. And these are very close to my heart because they're all hand drawn. And when I draw them with line and dot. Obviously it's not easy to see in some parts, but you'll get the feel of them as soon as you see them. That it's all the shading, if you want it, is already done, so that you don't have to worry too much about it. So I want these to be a focal point, but I also want them to be a background, so it's all connected. So I've got some others as well which I like, which are nice. I can't say this word, so I think they're marigolds, because they're not chrysanthemums. I can't say it, so don't laugh. Chrysanthemum, they're like a marigold. So we've got that shape, beautiful shape, and you can create like fields of that and a journal page around the edge. And then I've got a dragonfly as well. So my dragonfly, I just can stick that anywhere. But I thought what you could do, and I'll show you later, is nice to stamp it on the washi tape and then cut it out on the washi tape. So anyway, we'll be picking 3 winners today. This is the prize. Let me get it right there. Hey, there. Oh, and I had it right. I'll just move over that way and go like that. I can't do it. That way. That way. Did it? Yeah, it's that way. Anyway, that's it. It's a massive bundle. Look at that. Even I want that. But you get the clipboard. Now the clipboard's really useful because if you haven't got an hardback book, it's really hard to do your moodling and your drawing. So when you get that clipboard, you can, do your drawing on that. And also, this is one of the journal books covers. This is so cool because I want to show you the journal I use. And it's getting old now. But this, I could add to this quite easily. And then you get the books. Now, I want to show you something about these, because these are really good. You get the plain, and this is really matters to me. I get the lines, which they're a nice soft red. They're not bright, so they're not overpowering, but then you get the squares. And I do a lot of drawing where the grid is an important feature when I'm drawing. So to have 3 books like that sort of in your journal means that you can actually go to each one and plan it. Because if I show you mine, there's bits everywhere. So like my drawing's on one and I've got writing underneath it. So really I could do with bits where I could just write and bits where I draw. So to me it makes total sense. I could put it in this as well or attach it to it. I'm really liking this because then all the information in that goes with it. Anyway, I'll show you about that. I really like that. I think it works really well with an existing one as well. So I thought I'd do some background. So the first thing I want to do is focus on what a background is, and it's elements that stay in the background and not a focal point. So we're going to do some gesso backgrounds. So what I've done is I've got my stamp, and this is my butterfly one. Butterfly, it's not a butterfly at all. It's the bloom one, and it is quite a detailed one, but all the shading, if you're a bit unsure about shading, is done for you by dots. So I'll just show you that I use it generally on 2 pages, or I use it on single pages that I can put in another journal, or I can put it in that journal. So all I do now is, you don't have to have it on a stamp block, but I have. It just makes it a little bit easier for me. And then on another stamp block, or this is a good tip as well, on the washer, you've got this great plastic. Keep that because that is a good palette. You can take that with you. You can even put stuff on it and then pop it in your book, so they're really good. So I've got some washi on an old sponge, and I'm just going to put it, I'll just put it on here. I don't want to put it on the mat and get myself in trouble, but I just want to put a little bit out. Now this gesso, and I'm using a golden gesso, but you can use the gessos you've got. There's lots on the website, so just check it out. I'm going to loosen it a little bit with a squirt of water. Now I don't mean too much, just a mist like that, maybe one more, because there is cameras and it will dry, so don't wet it too much. If you wet it directly, you'll start moving it around. Then I'm going to get this, just move it out of the way, and I'm just going to place that stamp in. Now this does not matter if you miss, it does not matter, and I'm just going to stamp all over. The reason I do these backgrounds like this is because some days I don't want to sit and draw. Some days all I want to do is create. So I don't want to mess about with drawing. I don't want to be too sort of fine or finicky or faff, as we say, great word. But I want to create backgrounds so that maybe in another day I've got another mood, I want to draw on it. So what I'm doing is I'm creating what we call a resist. So you can do this on any paper. It's best if you use the colour of the paper. So here I'm using white. It looks quite well. You'll just see it if I show you that. You can just see it. And it's important that you use a similar colour to the background, because it's not really the actual stamp that you're going to look at. You're going to look at the colour behind it, and then it'll bring it all together. It sounds strange, but it actually pops out on its own. So while that dries, do another one on another sheet of paper, and then that way you can always put extra all over in here or in your other journals, because while one's drying you don't want to stand there doing nothing. It's best if you can leave it to dry naturally, although you can heat set it. So again, that's all you need to do. You can hardly see it. Just while that's drying, I'm going to show you another little trick. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. Terrible. Look at, I've only been here 5 minutes and making a mess. Look at this. And I can't believe they've had me back. Blooming heck. Must be doing something alright. Maybe not. So what I want to show you while that is drying, do a load of them. It's no point in just doing one when you're doing a back. Get everything out, get your papers out, get all your books out, and go for it. So here, got these absolutely lovely hidden boxes, but these are loose watercolours, the texture. I love these. These are stunning, and they're so bright. So what I want to do is give you an idea of how you can incorporate your paints, your inks, or everything with the same technique. So here, I don't know what colour it is. It doesn't matter what colour it is because they're all brilliant. I've got another palette. Just going to move it over there. If you've got your stamp with the watercolour, or it's okay. If it's got acrylic or gesso, my advice is just get a damp cloth and just put it on it. It's not wetting it, it's just keeping it moist, because what you don't want to do is dry it out, because you'll end up with all the details being blocked. You don't want your holes blocking, come on, all your details. So I'm just doing the same here. Now this is where you can do whatever you want. So here, and you don't need a lot, seriously don't need a lot. I'm going to put that there. Now what I would do before is just before I do this is I do this. I check the colours. So it's important before you do that you know what colour you're going for, and then that way you know what you're going to aim for. So there I've got that, and and people forget about this. They forget that they can mix their own colours. They don't have to have just what these say. They can mix their own and by putting other colours in. So I've got the two colours there, and I'm just going to use, this is kitchen sponge, so I'm just going to bring in a little bit of colour now. And again, I've got orangey pink there. It'll be easier for you to see. Give it a squirt, not too much. A bit more. Sometimes you might need 3 squirts, sometimes you might need 4. But then I'll do this on another page, just to show you. So keep that, again, I'm going to use this page now, because I think it'll look lovely in this. You can use it on the stamps page if you want, the line page. You can use it on all of them, but I'll use it on this. So what I'm going to do is I'll fold to the middle. You don't have to do it this way, but this is what I do. To start, I don't start at the front because it's a bit intimidating. And I'm going to now, hopefully, because I've kept that moist, it will be able to sort of still be quite easy to stamp. If it's too dry, what I tend to do is just give it a square. So you can just see now, I'll do it all. I'm not worried if I'm missing bits. It's not about a perfect stamp. It's all about backgrounds. And once you start doing this, it'll get you more involved and more interested, and before you know it you think, wow, I've done about 10 sheets. So you can just see, it's very easy to see with the pink on it, but you've got like what we call a hue. So if you've got a pink paper, you could use this like a pink version. Try and match them up and then you'll get this resist. So I'm going to go back to this one, and it doesn't matter that if you've got little bits, it's more or less dry. Because sometimes when you force dry it, you create bubbles. So it will dry on the top, but it's not dry underneath. So all I do now is I get another bit of sponge, and you choose the colour you want. And you just get anything you want. I'm going to just clean that off. In fact, I'm not cleaning that off. What am I doing? Click in there. Got on that one. I do use my journals a lot. So I wish this had about squares and things in it. So just clean that off, and I'm going to use a little bit of the colours. So I don't need a lot, and I want to create a watercolour, so I don't want anything too heavy. I just want to create a wash because I want to build up colours. I don't want it to be all that bright at the beginning. So I've got this wonderful colour. I've added some pink, some water, and you can see how bright that is. Stunning, isn't it? So you can do it with a baby wipe, or you can do it with a bit of sponge. I'll do both and show you. That kind of, this is a zero. And it doesn't matter if you're waiting, because whilst you're waiting, this is all drying. So I'll do it with both just to show you. Obviously you've got a lot more water retention in this, so my advice is just soften it up a little bit with a bit of water. And then I'm just going to use a tiny bit because it is super strong, this. Look how strong that is. So I've got the pink on, and then I'm going to take it off so you can see the white. Hopefully you can see that resist. So we're talking about layers. Now I don't want it all that bright. I don't want it all that bright. So this is where you know that these colours, what happens is more water, less pigment, less colour, dye in these, and then you just see how strong they are. I'm going to, if they're really too strong, it's not that they're too strong, it's just that you're getting a lot of colour in this. I'm just taking some out and just using water on the sponge. Now this isn't watercolour paper, and it doesn't matter because I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about, this is the sponge flicking off, don't worry. So I'm just putting that on there, and again I'm blending that in there, and I'm going to choose another colour now just to bring the two colours. So I like warm colours. So is that the same? No, this is an orange. So you get a wonderful vibration of colours between pinks and oranges. And yet when I was at school, they said, don't use orange and pink together. And you're like, why? I love it. But it's like, forget all those rules. If you like it, you do it. It's your work. And it's your diary. So if you want to do that, don't let anyone stop you. So here I've got some orange and some pink blended over. So I'm getting some nice background colours. And then what I can do is, as I'm getting a bit more confident, I can mingle and blend up the two colours, so I'm getting a light moving to dark. What you don't want to do is just throw it all on, because if you do that and you don't like it, you know, you're like, oh, what did I do that for? So get to know the colours, work with them. If you still think that's still a bit strong, the colour that's on here, just blend it out. Just blend it out using this. And then that way you get a much softer transition, so you're not worried about lines. You can just see here it's quite light, but just go back in with that, just rub it gently, because don't forget this isn't watercolour paper, but I love that, I really like that. So I'm just going to add a little bit of depth, just don't go mad though. That's better. So what you do, put it on, paper towel ready, and this will go into all the gaps that you've not been able to get. Now leave that to dry, but what I want to show you is some of these pinks on these will look absolutely stunning. So I can actually even colour up this. But you do need to let it dry, and you can see now that will match that perfectly, and I'll use the orange on it. And you don't realise until you actually see it on it how pink it is. Let's chop that off there. Show you on there. Now it won't stick when it's wet, and you know, so obviously. But if I wanted to sort of now create a spine, because when you're using watercolour with a book, sometimes water goes in here. You don't want that. But I'm now quite happy to say that that really does go with it. So don't think of these as being, you can't move them. You can stamp on them, paint on them, colour on them, do all those things. So I'm going to leave that one a minute, and I'm going to come on to this one, and we're going to do a very light sort of colour where we're just creating, this is more of a watercolour, so I'm hoping to get like a drop effect. And a drop effect's really simple. You just damp down your paper, give it a minute to soak in, because what you're going to do is let the colour burst. And this is this bit, and it's, oh, somebody said it on Facebook, and you're really true. I get that excited, I can't get my words out, and I can't get my words out. So all I'm doing is allowing that to drop out. Now at the moment it doesn't look much, but I'm allowing it to stain the paper. So give it, the longer you leave it, the more you're allowing it to stain the paper, so that when you take a little bit off, because don't forget you might not want it that strong. Don't throw this away, because this is like your palette now. So now I'm going to get a clean one, or I can get a little bit of orange, whichever. But now I'll have the concentration of where that dropped. But now I'll be able to wash out the rest using a baby wipe or a kitchen towel. You do need something that's got a bit of welly, and I mean by a bit of welly, I mean you're not going to do that and stick your finger through it straight away. You need to be able to sort of rub it down quite well. So you're better off with something like this. And I found these biodegradable ones really good because I can wash them. So I'm just going to add a bit of orange now. So this has got more of a concentration of colour, and if I look at where I've got like little details, I'm just going to get a tiny bit of wash, and then this is where I can go in and just add more, just where I need it, just in the centre of the flowers perhaps. And then I don't like this blob that I've put on because it's too obvious, so again you can get a clean paintbrush that's damp, and I'm just going to bring the edges out. Not the middle, the edges, just there. So that softens it all up, and you leave it to dry. So what we've got is we've got something that's quite dynamic now, and we want something that's light on the top. So what do? Then you stamp back on them. Now this can be done on anything, anything, your journals, your background layering, your layers for your card making, anything you choose, you can do this on. So this is the paper. Now this is journaling paper. It's all paper is different. So fit for purpose, test it. So I'm just going to put a little bit on, and you see this is my palette now, and it's taking it really well, but it's taking it really strong. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit there, and I'm going to change. See, I don't need any more. I've got it all on here. And this is bringing the colour up fantastic, just a little bit. So that shows you that the everyday journaling bundle, you need, you know, this will work for that as well. This technique's brilliant for it. So again, leave that to dry. So we'll go back to the first one we did. Couple of techniques here. So I've cut out the stamp that was already on. So the first thing we can do is use that as a stencil. So I'm just going to put that over and then just stencil over very lightly using this. I might need more colour. I might need more colour on my cloth, but it doesn't matter. There we go. So we've got a nice bright edge. My advice is don't try and put it straight on where you've stamped, because you want it to be layered, not just like that. So now get a little bit more colour on my baby white. Make sure it's not too strong by wiping it on another one, and just build up those colours just gently, like your distress. I'll do that, and then show you another little trick now to build it up again. So there's depth to your background now. So what we've got is we've got the flowers being shown, we've got a stencil of the flowers, and now I'm going to go in with a little bit of detail. And I've only used 2 colours. I really do like these. There's no point in me saying something and bringing it in and not like it. I really have to work with it. I can't just say, oh yeah, I like that, if I don't, because it's just not me. So I've got the 2 colours out again, and I've got less water on my brush, but I'm just going to mix the 2 together, and that way I've got a blend between the 2. And you might not be able to see it at the moment, but just here there's the shape of the leaf petal, and I'm just going to pull that out, clean off my brush. Now there we go. Can you see the flower emerge? It's negative painting. So this means what we're doing is we're not painting the flower, we're painting the space behind it. Sound a bit daft, but it's not. It's like you're painting the space that it is in, and it really does work. So I'll just do this one so we can see a little bit better. I'll put a little bit of the dark in. Don't be tempted to put too much in at once, because you want to sort of layer it. It's far better to sort of add layers than it is to just sort of think, right, I'll bang a load of colour on, because you can't take it away. This is super strong stuff, this. So again, and this isn't watercolour paper, this is my journaling paper, and I'm just going to put a little bit. If I was you, and I haven't got them in a box at home, is paper clip your pages down, and then that way. So you can see now there is yet another version of 3 layers of flower, petals, blooms, anything that you've got. And then, so we've got that now. If you can just see now that it's the paper's curling a bit, I am sorry, but you can see the flower that we stamped in the gesso. We can see the flower there, but we can also see the stencil we used. And then what you can do is a couple of things. You can go in, I'll do both. We can go in with a bit more of the gesso. We can change the colour so that we're going on. I'll use this actually. I'm going on with a bit of, I don't want it too bright, I'm going to do 2 lots of layering. So the first one is I'm going to add the colours that I've just used to wash down the background, and I'll do it on top. I can sometimes, when I'm working on a background, I limit myself to 1 or 2 stamps and 1 or 2 colours, because then I'm not faffing, because I really do concentrate. Great word, faffing. There's another one I use, but I can't say it on here. So now what I'm going to do is overstamp, but with the colours that I've painted with. So it's a little bit, you can't see it, but it all builds it up. And I'll show you a bit more now. And I'll show you the colour here. Just show you there, can you see? It's a bit, it's not that easy to see because it's the same colour. That's the colour that I've stamped, so it's a very gentle colour that I've made, but it's just, so anything else I put on there now, what will happen is, it'll react the same way. So I'll put that on. Now I'm going to get my white one again, and this is the bit I love this because it all comes alive. Now I'm just going to go straight on here. And just a little trick and word of advice, when you're stamping and you're using paint, not only do you have to clean your stamps, but you must, to not contaminate, use the paint in your lid. It's only advice, but it is such, because if you get anything in your white gesso, you've ruined it. But it's pretty dry, really quick. I'll do it on this one. Right, so if I move to this close-up camera now, maybe you can see all the leaves in the background building up. So I've not just got this whole flower there, I've just got like, you don't even know it's the part of the original stamp. It looks like another design that you've worked on. So if I do it on here, you might be able to see a little bit better. So I'll go in with the white. And it is important to keep your white white. That sounds so daft, but it's true because it's so easy to contaminate white. I'll do it on here and let's see if we can get a bit clearer with it. There we go. You can just see, I'll just move it nearer the camera so you can just see the lightness between the two. We've got like a white version. It's very light, but when it dries differently. Oh, you can look at that. Great camera work. Brilliant. I'm so lucky here. I've got some lovely people working with me. Don't know how they put up with me. So what do we do with that now? Well, you can do anything you want with it. You can do absolutely anything you want. So a couple of little ideas that I'll do with this is I want to alter the edge. Now I'll have to check out that I'm not taking too much time. So I don't want to be here forever to throw me out. But look at this now, look at that. Now if I was to, oh, I know, I forgot. Oh yeah, right, what I can do is, I'll get my colour. Sorry, I'm getting giddy. Calm down. They're throwing me out at the door in a minute, won't they? It's like being with my mates, this, you know. It's like being up, because I've not got any mates. No, I'm joking. But it's like, I love being here, because I feel like I can just do what I want. They don't tell me you've got to do this, this and this. I wouldn't do it anyway, would I? So I've got some pure ink, and I'm just going to pop the ink on my finger. It doesn't matter what, you put it on with a sponge if you want, whatever. In fact I will. It's going to take me forever to do it like this, but you're looking for big contrast now. So you're not looking for little drop, you're looking for colour, because you'll see the impact. Because next to the white, this will really show up, hopefully. She says, famous last words. But can you see how the white contaminates really easily? Yay! So now we've got, moving to the little camera, now you can see the third or fourth layer. You just see how it's layered. Now the pinks come through. So we've got 4 or 5 different techniques and great inky fingers. But now we could just cut that out and then we could put colour on that. And where the white is, it would resist the colour, so you'd end up with lines and foliage marks and petals in it. So there's lots to it. And when you come to this, I do use this. Don't be frightened of just stamping all over your book, because I'm just making these pages ready to draw on. So I never waste this, never ever, because it sets me off for my next journaling session. So I'm going to move these pages and just do some here. and you get, the more water you use, the more of a watercolour finish, which in itself is a lovely wash. So hopefully, so I've got a lovely finish now. And if you've got bits like that or here, just take your stamp off and then use it with your hand like that. So if I wanted to, and I haven't actually got any, I'll do it in the book. That looks gorgeous, that, especially with that pink washer. If I go in now with that, I'm just going to get little areas over the north. Oh, somebody's in here trying to kick me out. So can you see, you can actually apply it that way. So leave that to dry, leave that to dry, leave that to dry. Here's a little one that I like to do with the pages. In fact, what I'll do is I'll do it this way on this one, and then we can see. So just to make it a little bit clearer for you, still using the same stamp. You can use any of the stamps though, like this is a great one to use because it's got this wonderful shape, but I'll show you with this. I'm going to edge the page. So the first thing I'm going to do is use two ways you can do it. We can do the stamp that we've cut out and used as a mask, just put that on there, and then the colours we've got, I'm just going to blend off. So I'm just going to stop it there, bring it down, move it round a little bit, choose the areas that you like, so you can just see there, and just moving it, and then I can create edges for my paper like that. And then what I can do is just clean this off a little bit. Oh, I can use another one. I'll use another one. Use this one. And then what you can do is create layers. I'll show you the layers one first. So I'll go back to my pink one. I'll get a bit more white with it, and then lightly do more layers. And you can use this as a great stencil. You can build up frames and patterns and frame your work with this that way. I always have to remember which way. So we're framing off, so you need to put your flower in the middle and frame off that way. And then here, and I'll put some washi tape on it actually, and you'll see how good it looks with the washer. So we've got a lovely frame. Do a lighter version next to it, and then we've got this great sort of frame now, and there's our flower in the middle, so we can frame it using it. And there's another little trick with the flower, and I'll use the other one because, but like I say, what I would do with this, make sure, put that on. You don't, even if you take it home like that, or wash it, if you don't wash it straight away, it should be okay like that, because these are good stamps. But you've got acrylic, and acrylic is a plastic paint after all, and what you don't want to do is ruin it really. Now this is well loved. I've got a stays on in grey, so I like to use less black, only as at the end, and I'll show you with my pens. I've got my jelly roll pens, the black only at the end, because it's like the black and white are the final bits that really bring it all together. So here I'm just going to concentrate on this area here, and what you do need is a piece of, I'll use this because it's a bit mucky, I'm going to use that underneath it, and I'm just going to do the edge. Perfect. So the grey is a softer feel to it, so you can do that with it. Now what you can do is, if you turn it the other way, so we've got this edge that we've created now, like this frilly edge, and then we can add pinks behind it and all these different colours behind it, and we can add a strip there, just so, like that, and we can get, you know, a little bit of our sponge or cloth, and using our little bit of our stays on, just create. Don't want a lot, because you want it to, you want, at the moment it looks like there's hardly any on it, but believe you me, you take it away, you've got a real sort of edge to it. Forget the pink, that's not there. But then when you get these wonderful, dragging everything around. I've used that many bits of washi tape, I'm sorry, but you're not having it back now, because I want it. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, which one do I like with it? I like them all actually, but I'm particularly liking, I like this one. It's got this great, and it's quite strong, you know, as washies go. Some of them are a bit flimsy, aren't they? But this isn't. It's got a bit of stick to it. So what I could do is put it in the middle. Now, I've joined mine, and it's so easy to join. You get another piece, and you should do it the other way and put a piece at the top and the bottom like that. But it is easier. I'm doing it the really difficult way to show you. Trust me. All you need to do is just... I like the way it's on the sheets as well. It's manageable. Oh, I've done it short again. Do you know I'm rubbish at that today? I did it twice before. I still couldn't do it. So, see how easy that is to join? You cannot see the join because it's washi, so you don't need to. And then I could do this, and then I could create yet another edge. I'm not wasting that. So I could create, put another bit there, and I could even go a little bit darker now and darken the edge of the washi as well. So don't forget we've got that one. And then if you've got a dodgy stamp, it's not a dodgy stamp, it's me. I've not stamped it hard enough. What I'm going to do is, because these flowers are really forgiving, I can just go in with a flower on the edge and over stamp, and then it's not. There we go. So we've got that nice regular sort of pattern happening there. So that's one, that's two, and oh, the other one is really easy. We get another sheet, use your washi. This is a really good way of using it as well if you want to, but it almost feels cheeky doing this, but it's just such a nice way of doing it. We get the washi and you rip it. Now bear in mind I've got really dodgy fingers at the moment with paint all over them, and what we can do is use it as a mask. Now if you're using it as a mask, you have to take some of the fluff, it's not fluff, take the stick off it. So you take it off a little bit, so take it off a surface, a little bit of air, and then we're just going to do that. You can still use it, don't get me wrong, you can, it's not like you can't use it afterwards, you can. I've not stuck the, good job I haven't got a microphone on. I've been whacking it now, doing this, so I'm creating like a panel. Try and make it straight with this, come on. So I've got that, and you can use any one of the ones you want, but as long as you can rip it. But the edge you get on this is brilliant because it darkens it. So don't forget, let me go through. Remember, if you comment, you're in a chance, you're in with a chance to win the wonderful little clipboard. You can go on and have a look at all the offers, and believe you me, on everyday journaling, up to 75% off. I don't know how they're doing that, but never mind. I'm not saying anything. You'll get a prize. No, let me get this right. Washi tape. You get a free gift. That free gift, it's like a choice. There's about 40 sheets, I think. You get 15% off my collection. 15%. I can't remember it all. I'm getting old now. I can't remember all these details. But you do get a lot. You get 15% off Secure a Jelly Roll. 15% off mine. But the best place to go is go and have a look at the link, because that'll tell you far better and far more than I can, because I'm not great at details. I was told it all before, but that don't matter. I need retelling 10 times before it goes in. So what I'm going to do is just concentrate on this middle bit. Now you do have to push here. The reason why is you've got a surface here and a surface here, and this is causing an edge. So you've really got to get in there. So I've got a little bit missing, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. In fact, if it is quite, because this is thick paper I'm using. Let's do that. Perfect. And then, see, I'm not the cleanest of people with. I like it when you can just get this stamp and just mess about and change it so that you've got the stamp where you want, and not me telling you, well, it should be there. You do it. So, we've got the winners. No? Oh, sorry, my fault. Now, don't forget, you've got to share it. So what I'm going to do is just pull this edge away, and I will use these because I'll show you in my book what I use the washi for. Just to show you, I'm not faking it, I do use it. Be very careful because that edge, you want to keep that like that. Don't throw this away because I build up pictures with it. Am I doing all right for time or? Yeah. Right. 5 minutes, is that it? Right. Okay. So here, oh, I love this. It's like embossing. I want to sort of say, right, it's boring now, but it never is. Look at that pattern. You've made your own strip down the middle, and it could be at the edge, it could be an invitation, you could just do one panel across there. You know, if you've got a card and you just got that little bit. But let me just show you here. Oh, look at the pages, it's exciting. Right, okay, and this is true. This is all washer from StudioLight's. This is all what I use. So when I've got washer, I've got tons of washer all put down, and you create wonderful lines with it. Again, I stamp on it, I create all sorts. So when I say I do use my washer, I really do, that's loose. So, like for instance here, this is one page I did. This is the bit that we've got left over. So if I just do that, that is perfect for her because it's darkened and it's not exactly the same. So that, I go through my book and add, and even here you could add, but I'll show you one right here. It's a bit drier now. I would start with, first one I'd put down is here, and then I would put a little bit here. And this would be my third line. When I mean thirds, I mean I'll put a central line at a third and a third so that I can build it up. Put that little bit up there, right, and then build it up. So we build up layers like this, and it's really easy, really easy doing it like this because I've not got anything. I've got a plan. It's a general plan. It's nothing too sort of, right, you've got to put that there and that there. This is just me saying, right, I'm having a journal day, I'm doing my background and I'm going to play, and this is what it's about, and I'm going to rip this one up. I don't like ripping it because I feel like it's bad for ripping it, but then when I see the result I get, I think, nah, I'm glad I ripped that. So I've put the pink, the blue and the brown all together, and the blue sort of gives it that little bit of a hint of a colour. So then, where's that one I did? I could easily colour that in. In fact, I'll do it now before we go. I've got the winners here, I've got the winners. Oh, hey, I know some of them names. Ladies, oh, bless you. You're coming to see me. I would get that, maybe stick a bit more colour on it and wait for it to dry, but then the detail, and I would just put that there. No, that one's better. You can see it, and then a tiny bit of washi over it, and then that I would colour in with my pencil or whatever I wanted to use. And just chop it there because I want it to be like popping out of that bit. Put a little bit of washi there, and there I've got, from rubbish, this is all rubbish because it was a stencil, I've got all the pages. So the winners, are you ready? I have got Rena Hurst, boom! Sylvia Allen, get in, it's my mate Sylvia. And if it isn't my old mucker, Glynis, you're in there, Glynis Brotherwick. Well, you all, I don't know why, but you all follow me as well, but thank you so much, but you're the winners. So Rena Hurst, Sylvia Allen, and we've got our Glynis Brotherwick. So you will be getting a wonderful prize. You'll be getting the little thingy that you, what is it called? Clipboard. And you'll be getting other bits and bobs. You've got a selection there. So anyway, I think I'm running out of time. I think I am. Look at mess. Look at the mess I've made. I've only been here 5 minutes. But just to recap, so journaling. I've got the journaling book here. We've created 1 page. I would say always try and use watercolour paper or paper with clips on it, right? So it keeps it down. Make it dry. Leave it to dry. Let the gesso be your stamp and let it be your resist. So whilst you're doing all this, you're also getting more ideas about colours, about schemes, about that pattern that you've just created. Oh, I could do this, I could do that. And that inspires you to do more. And then you build up, and eventually you'll start to sort of work in your book. And then this didn't happen all at once. This was layers and layers and layers. So this eventually will be the same. I'll add more layers. I'll add this down here as a tip in or something. So you're inspired and you're doing the work, and that's the main bit. You're inspired to do it. So please, please, please check out Lou's inks, and please 15% off my stamps. So if you want 15% off. Oh, I forgot pens. Right, last bit. I'm going to stop now. No, I'm going to stop. When you've got these pens, you've got to get them. These are Jelly Roll because they're a must, and I've got the black one. What I would suggest you do is just I'll do it and then show it you. Just little dots in the centres where you want a little bit. Rub it in with your finger because it's like a watercolour. So I can put that there, and then 2 ways of doing it. You get your brush and I can just wet it and it becomes more of a watercolour now. So it gives it more depth there. I can draw with it, I can dot with it, I can add details. I can do all my doodling, all my moodling. I can do patterns, decorations, but you've got a couple, you've got 3 colours, and they're the must-haves. These are the best of the range, in my opinion, for your journaling to have with you when you go out. You've got a white, a black, and you've got the Stardust. And I have done them, put them all on here. You've got that Stardust, which you can see glitters. Look, I've muckied up everything. The white one and the black. So these stay in my handbag. I've got a massive handbag. And then I hope you've enjoyed that, because I've loved it. I've made a bit of a mess. So I'll be cleaning up for a couple of hours now. But yeah, it's Friday, so I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Good luck well done, not good luck. Well done to the winners, Glynis, Sylvia and Rena. And thank you for sharing your time with me, you know, I appreciate it. But thanks to everyone here for having me back. I don't know if they'll have me back again. Let's see. But yeah, so thank you so much. Go and get your money off quick. Go and get your money off.